What is your money story? What's your money story? Have you asked yourself that? Have you listened to enough manifesting podcasts to know what I'm talking about here? I have, and it's complicated. It's very complicated because they say if you want the surest way to block wealth from coming to you, it's to have a negative money story. Maybe you feel like other people don't deserve it, or maybe you feel like you don't deserve it. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that because I do have a very healthy disdain for wealth. Is that the reason it has not come pouring in? Maybe, but let's break it down a little bit. Is it a disdain for wealth in and of itself? Is it maybe a disdain for the wealthy? Or is it a disdain maybe just for excess? I don't know. We were having some really great conversations. I went with my daughter to spring break, as mothers do. Okay, no judging. She loves me. And I was there with her friends and we were having a discussion like, does everybody who acquires a certain level of wealth become an asshole? Like all the people are like, oh, if I only had the money, I would blank, blank, blank. I would give more. I would donate more. I would be more generous. I would shop local. I would do all these things. You know, I wouldn't exploit people who have less than me. Yet it seems like that's not really the case. I don't know. I don't know a lot of uber wealthy people. And here's the thing. It takes privilege to have disdain for wealth. I had the privilege of always knowing that there was enough, that I would never have to go hungry, that there was a roof over my head, and that I would go to college. You know, I came from a long line of doctors, which came to a screeching halt when I was born. But I always knew that I would be okay, that there was a cushion to fall back on. I had what I needed. I never grew up believing it was mine. I never believed it was my money. I couldn't take it whenever I wanted it, and I couldn't take it for whatever I wanted it for. I had to ask, and often I had to pay it back, and often I forgot to pay it back because hashtag ADHD, and I don't do anything incrementally, and I always thought I would just write a big fat check at one time for all the money that I borrowed, and I never did, and so that's just another shame spiral. I'm not going to go down right now. So I've had the privilege of having disdain for wealth, but I really don't think it's wealth. I think it's excess. And you know, I can't throw stones for my glass house if I could afford a glass house because I don't give as much as I could. Did I need another black lacy crisscross vintage top this weekend in San Diego at the thrift? Did I need one more? My daughter says no. She says 6 was enough. And I said, there's 7 nights in a week. And she said, enough already. I could have given that $14.99 to somebody who needed it more than me. So I'm not going to sit on my high horse and say, I'm so generous and I always shop local and I buy local, because I don't. I don't, because I live in a bit of scarcity mentality. And so that brings us back to the money story. So on this trip to San Diego for spring break with Sadie and her friends, we stayed in this lovely Airbnb. It was a studio. It was small. It was cozy. It was lovely. It had a garden outside, and it was enough. There were 3 of us. One of us slept on the floor. Won't gonna be me. But we were all happy. And the dog was happy. We were happy. And then we went to visit friends of friends who happened to be on what can only be described like Billy Joel's glass houses, like that. Like take that house, like put it on the cliffs of Encinitas overlooking the ocean. And I was like, I'm getting in that house. I need to see inside that house. Sadie's like, please God, Mom, don't embarrass me. I'm like, buckle up. Okay, little girl. Since when do I not embarrass you? So I wedged us inside of this house, and we were greeted with the koi pond, and we pet the fishies. Y'all, this house was kind of stunning and stunningly awful, all at the same time, to me. And why did I feel that way? It had a view of the ocean. It had cabanas. It had little nooks to sit and read and smell the ocean. And did I mention the petable fish? I think it was the vibe. Was it the vibe of the place, or was it my inner dialogue going, psh, ugh, such excess, ugh. Was it my money story? But let me give you some examples. So windows, floor to ceiling, looking out over the cliffs, over the water. But all the couches faced the big screen TV. Okay. They didn't even face the water. Not only that, but there was a big screen TV in every single room. I mean, even rooms that were adjacent. I mean, I get having family movie night, having a big TV and cuddling up. But then there was one 3 steps away in the kitchen, and then another 4 steps away in each bedroom. It was like, can't we do that at home? And then the art, y'all. Why is there corporate art in there? Why is there mass manufactured art on these giant walls? Like, I walked into this printed monstrosity and I'm like, oh my God, they spent so much on the glass and all the mirrors in the bathroom that they couldn't even fill this place with real art. Like, that's where my judgment came in. It was all about the image, but it wasn't about the experience. And I realized, ding, 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 it's about the experience. Some people walked in there and felt the experience of the vastness and the openness and the views and probably felt enveloped and like, I've made it. I was infinitely curious, but I wasn't envious. I did like feeding the fish and I did like leaving. And you know what? I liked leaving and going back to our little studio and curling up in the bed with the girls and watching a movie with the dog laying across us while we drank wine and ate leftover mac and cheese from the box. That was awesome. That's the experience I want. So I shouldn't have judgment over anybody else's. But let's get back to the money story. I would like more experiences. I want the juicy stuff. I want to explore wild and interesting places. And I have friends who are in Greece and the Philippines. I want to know how they did it. And I know that these friends aren't necessarily rolling in dough, but they are rolling in something positive. I hear there were vision boards involved. I will be getting out my markers and my glue and my magazines very soon. But it begs the question, where do those experiences come from? Can it only come from wealth? Is there a way to have the experience without the wealth? Maybe, I don't know. But I guess what I'm going to do is I'm not going to ask for money. I mean, I'm not like going to beg for money or like busk for money or anything like that. But I am going to ask the universe for experiences. And I'm going to be kind of specific. I want them near the water. I want them with people who make me laugh. I want them with people who care about me. I want them with people who are game for adventure. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm making this art. I'm making this today. This is the art that I would put in that house. And I know it breaks all the rules because it has more colors than blue and silver and black, number one. And it's painted on a drop cloth. But it was painted with love. It was painted with joy. It does kind of feel like you're underwater looking at a coral reef. And y'all, I think I might just find that Airbnb and just reach out to the owners and just see if they're interested. Oh my God, could you imagine? Let's manifest that shit. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to put it out there. If any of y'all have friends with giant fucking beach houses, I can come work on site. Oh my God, how cool would that be? To like be in the place that I want to be, creating the art that I want to create, like all together. Somebody's got to grab me some scissors and some glue, like right now, because I got to add this to the board.